Nelson Muntz was never supposed to matter. He first showed up in Bart the General, Season 1, as a one-note bully, just another pint-sized terror pushing kids into lockers, stealing lunches, and shouting a laugh that hadn't quite become iconic yet. Ha, ha, ha. Not quite the sharp, nasal, ha ha. We know today. And yet, even in that first episode, something strange happened. The line, "I'll get you after school, man," landed. And it landed hard. A sigh of relief from Nancy Cartwright, the voice behind him, and a ripple of laughter in the recording room. That moment quietly sparked a transformation no one saw coming. Originally, the role was meant for someone else. Dana Hill. But fate, or scheduling conflicts, handed it to Cartwright, and Nelson became hers. She asked herself, what does a bully sound like? What we got was more than a voice, it was a soul in progress. In the beginning, Nelson was all fists and fear. He wasn't funny. He was a real threat. Bart cried after their first encounter. There was no punchline, just pain. But in the world of The Simpsons, a show that thrives on turning caricatures into characters, the writers weren't content to leave Nelson at the shallow end of the pool. Where Jimbo, Dolph, and Carney remained glorified background noise, Nelson got depth. In Lemon of Troy, he becomes less of a menace and more of a reluctant ally. A fighter, yes, but one with a cause. He wasn't just hitting people anymore, he was fighting for his town. For his lemon tree. The real turning point came not with a punch, but with a crush. Lisa Simpson. Season 8. Suddenly, Nelson's armor cracked. Beneath the denim vest and bruised knuckles was a kid who had feelings. Honest ones. Misguided, maybe, but real. And later, Marge becomes a kind of surrogate mom to him. The show started to peel back the layers, and what it found was heartbreaking. His dad gone, his mom working at Hooters, his house more broken than his laugh made it seem. By season 18's The Ha-Ha'd Couple, we get something no one expected. Nelson and Bart as best friends. For a while, it works. And when it doesn't, there's still this tenderness. That final scene, Bart clutching the vest Nelson gave him, Nelson laughing, ha ha. I touched your heart. That's when we knew. Nelson Muntz had quietly become one of the most complex characters on the show. And the evolution didn't stop. Any Given Sundance revealed even more. Nelson on camera, speaking his truth. I like to cry at the ocean, because only there do my tears seem small. It's absurd. It's funny. But it's also devastating. Nelson was never just a bully. He was a poet trapped in a bruiser's body. They didn't just make him tragic, they made him capable. He runs a test-cheating empire. He solves mysteries. He beats up Milhouse not for being weak, but for selling out his beliefs on global warming. Nelson has a code, a logic, an integrity you don't expect from the kid who used to hang Bart from a coat hook. And maybe that's why, in the later seasons, those supposedly bad years, Nelson somehow gets better. While other characters fall into loops and laziness, Nelson becomes more human, more surprising, more lovable. That's why I can't laugh along with the segment in 22 short films about Springfield where he gets humiliated. That's not the Nelson I know. That's not the kid who cried at the ocean. That's not the one who gave Bart his vest. He still bullies, sure, but now, it feels like there's a reason. Or at least a context. All he really wants is to be seen. To be valued. To matter. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes Nelson so special. Not because he's funny. Not because he's tough. But because he reminds us that everyone, no matter how rough around the edges, has a story worth listening to. Even the kid shouting, ha ha, from across the playground. So if this little journey through the heart of Springfield's favorite bully touched your heart too, well, ha ha. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, and remember, never underestimate a kid with a vest, a broken home, and a laugh that echoes through the ages.